Hi, lovers and leaders. How are we? Welcome to another time with me, Dr. Sarah. So in this video, I just want to give my 2 cents into Kandi's and Todd's 11-year marriage that is being talked about over social media. You know, Kandi filed for a divorce. I don't know if we really know the real reason, okay? But Todd recently responded back, right? Wanting to have full custody of the kids, allegedly, I'll say. So, of course, if you're going to custody of the kids, I'm sure he's trying to get some child support. I mean, that's allegedly an angle to get child support. Anyway, I'm saying this to say that marriage, ladies, I want to focus on you ladies. We know how men can be, all right, in certain situations, but I want to really focus on the fact that marriage is supposed to be a God directed ministry. All right, it's not a license to say, yay, we love each other and now we're going to be together forever and ever and ever. No, it's a whole ministry. Okay, there is a method to do it. There is a God to lead us, and there is a manual called the Holy Bible. So my thing is, Kandi, when you bring or allow things like, I'm going to say allegedly, but we know it's out there, she said it, to bring, certain extracurricular activities into the relationships, such as bringing a third party into the relationship, into your marital bed, some kingdom of darkness stuff into the kingdom of light marriage. I mean, what do you expect is going to happen? Ladies, let me know. Because I just want us ladies to take certain responsibility when we bring certain ish to the marriage, to the relationship, and the seed it sows. I mean, now you've seen for a while, there was various accusations against Todd that, he was having an affair with someone, and even recently, he's having an affair with somebody. It's like, it's not Kandi's fault. No, I'm not saying that. But we know from what she said on the social media streets and even on television, she's open to that. She's fluid, right? So I'm just like, well, again, let's be conscious of the fact that you got married. So it's a God-ordained institution, all right? It's highly spiritual. So when you bring kingdom of darkness stuff, yes, Satan's going to be all up in your marriage. And his foot is going to be on those dark stuff you've sowed in your marriage. I'm just keeping it a buck. It was bound to happen. The divorce was bound to happen. The divorce was bound to happen because that dark stuff wasn't cleared out. I mean, there's certain stories that, Todd was doing some extra stuff outside of the agreed upon extracurricular activities with a third person in the marriage. What do you expect? There's some men, all right, like a Todd, allegedly, I'll say allegedly, that you give him an inch, he's going to take more. You allowed it. And I just wonder, what is the mindset of a woman that allows her and her partner to be in some relations with additional people in their marital bed? Like, what is your mindset? Are you not enough? You don't think you're enough? Is Todd not enough for you? He can't satisfy you? Or is it Todd that wants that? See, this is the thing. Kandi and Portia Williams remind me of women that are, they're beautiful women. They're influencers in their field, successful women, beautiful on the outside, and also very kind-hearted from what I observe, okay, on the television, on social media. They're a very kind-hearted person, help the community, help their family, even help their spouses. I'm thinking about Portia, okay. But my opinion from observation, how they operate, they carry a male spirit. A male, they have this masculine nature to them. I've always suspected it about Portia, just the way she operated when she got angry and aggressive on the show, Real Housewives of Atlanta. But a little snippet I saw on BravoCon 2025 just recently, just the way her demeanor was, the way she sat, the way she was responding a particular panel, I literally saw the man in her, the male spirit. This is my opinion from my observations. Likewise with Kandi, she gives me masculine energy. Yeah. And when I think about both of their stories that we've observed, that they've shared, it doesn't appear that there was a male, the father wasn't in the picture for both of them, right? It also appears that they're very go-getters, and a lot of responsibility, financial responsibility, was put upon them, you know, quite young. And it appears that they're the ones that's also the breadwinners in their families, that they help not only their kids, but like their mothers, aunties, uncles, cousins, like whatever. There seems to be that, you know, breadwinner personality in both of them. And I won't be surprised if that's added to that masculine nature that they have. And I won't be surprised, again, my opinion from observation, that masculine nature has also contributed to them desiring to be with women. Yes, to have sexual relations with women. But they also decided to get married too. And you see Portia now, recently on social media, she's put out there that she's now, just after divorcing Simon Guobadio, okay, she's now in a relationship with a woman that looks masculine. But don't be fooled, she's masculine herself on the inside. And someone like myself that pays attention, I do see those demonstrations of a masculine nature in Portia. It's there. It's very much there. But she dresses up really well. She looks well. She takes care of her body. She's a beautiful woman. She dresses it up really well on the outside. But I won't be surprised if you have some interviews of her exes. They will confirm. I just, in my observation, my opinion, and professional experience, she has a masculine, I'm in control nature. I do. But she has a lovely heart. I can see she loves love. She said it, she loves love. She loves being in a relationship. But there's something a little off in her spirit. She doesn't know who she is right now. Yeah. And it's obviously showing in her choice of now being with a woman in a relationship. But yeah, both of them have a very similar background, similar approach to life. Both desire, you know, to be married, divorced. Both have experience with male partners and they're fluid. I mean, I'll be curious to see what Candace's going to do after the divorce, you know? I say all this to say that, well, number one, as women, when you decide to be in a relationship and marriage, be really careful what you entertain in a relationship, especially if you're somebody that wants to bring in a third person to satisfy you and your partner, especially if you are someone that tune in to certain, I don't know, extracurricular activities to make you and your partner, you know, like porn, for example, that make you both feel satisfied. Be careful the seeds you're sowing, okay, that in the subconscious mind, especially with something like porn in a relationship or a marriage, or you go to a strip joint, you're sowing seeds in not only your subconscious mind, but your spouse's subconscious mind. And that seed may sprout, okay, into a harvest that you're not going to like. So it's just really best to just rethink coming to a relationship. If you're not satisfied and content with who you are, you're definitely not going to be satisfied with your partner. And there's going to be situations like, you know, separation or divorce, which nobody wants. So just be mindful to sit and heal first before entering a relationship or a new one. And if you are in a marriage or relationship and you've opened yourself up like Kandi has, bringing in a third person, think very carefully. If you're someone, like I said, goes to a strip joint with your partner just to like keep things hot in the bedroom because you've been married for X number of years, be careful, because you don't know what he's doing. Because again, those seeds, those activities you're doing, you know, and having the image of another person, male or female, in your relationship, it's sowing seed. It's sowing seed. So really think it through. Really think it through. Because I really do believe Kandi desired to stay married. I'll be really curious to see the specific reason they got divorced. I mean, because they seem to really work really well together business-wise, right? And respect each other. But that relationship was a little unequally yoked. I think a bit unequally yoked. But it could have worked. But I do, my angle for this video is that bring in additional people in your marriage to satisfy you. Let's not do that, ladies. All right? You can't be that insecure. Well, some people are. Some people really are. But again, if you know you have that insecurity, that you don't feel like you're enough, if your partner asks you to bring that additional people, okay? Or if you have this desire to have an additional person, you're not ready to be in a monogamous relationship, just don't do it. Don't muddy the waters. Don't allow the enemy to have a foothold in your marriage, because he will mess things up. Not just the marriage, the enemy can mess things up financially for you, so many ways that you don't even know, because you've messed up the institution of marriage. So just really think through this. There's a lot we can learn from Kandi. I mean, we know she's a great businesswoman, but she herself needs to have some self-control and take on the spirit of a woman more. Like Portia, you need to take on the spirit of a woman more. And how do we know how to become a woman? How about we inquire of our maker? Okay, the one that created us in his image and likeness, both male and female. He's the one that really knows what a female spirit's supposed to look like. All right. And thank God he left a manual for us, all right, called the Holy Bible, to read on, meditate on, chew on. Let those words of life enter your spirit until you come into agreement with it. Until you come into agreement with it. When I think about Kandi and Portia, I just get a sense that because they have fathers that were not in the picture and mothers that are pretty in their business, opinionated, some respects controlling, being in a relationship, what I've observed with both of them, their desire to be in a relationship with a woman shows their compensation of a lack of a male authority figure within themselves to be the man in the relationship, to be the provider. They look pretty on the outside, but there's a very subconscious male identity in both of them. And some of you can identify with both Kandi and Portia, that sometimes you feel like you're the man in a relationship, you're taking on you have masculine tendencies. Yeah, there's a father wound, right, that needs to be acknowledged, that needs to be addressed with some good counsel, good therapy, and above all, go back to your maker and ask him how to be a woman again, to help you to have a rebirth, okay? And that rebirth only can happen, honestly, through the Holy Spirit. So he can give you back your female spirit that got broken along the way because of some disappointments, okay? And that's what I would say to Portia Williams and Kandi. I would say that they need to take time to sit down and identify with the female version of themselves and love on that version of themselves. And what does being a female really mean? And fight for it. Because this world, if you're not careful, it doesn't want you to stay in your true identity. And if you don't have a strong mind, you could just flow here and flow there. Okay? So that's what I would say to Kandi and pusher in this transition time they're in, please seek counsel of how to be a woman again. Experience that rebirth in Christ to be a woman again. So when you get a man again or decide to get into a relationship again, you will attract, being that woman, you will attract a real healthy masculine man that doesn't want child support from you, that, you know, doesn't want to be petty, okay? Simon Gobardia, all right? But they really have that masculine nature that is healthy. But let's start with the woman. We need to get healthy as women. We need to own an identity as a female, no matter what. A red rose stays a red rose, no matter the weather, right? So we have to, in this current season of life, in this generation, in these social media streets, in this media, please, women, we need to be able to fight. Literally, it's a psychological warfare, okay? And it can only be won by the Spirit of the Lord to get that rebirth as a woman again. And be happy that you're a woman. Be proud that you're a woman. And don't try and take on masculine trait to survive. Because there's a reason why you were born a woman. And it's beautiful. She's beautiful. You're beautiful. And you're strong. You could be strong, but still be a woman with that feminine spirit. If some of you really identify with this, let me know in the comment section. If you need some counsel in this area, please check out my link in the description. Until next time, stay blessed, woman.